Right, this is Miles' deck profile.
For the fourth
time. We've had a lot of issues trying to record this, so if it sounds a little strained, we apologise.
Yeah, we'll just get straight into it. 3-2. I'm going to be aggressive with this. So you normal summon this, and you get a free vampire from your graveyard in defense, and then if you special summon it, then you get to you declare a card type, spell trap a monster, and your opponent sends it to the graveyard. So useful. It's useful as the main card of the deck, which is why it's my favourite. But it can be used for Darkest by Sea summons, but it doesn't affect it too much. And that's pretty much all there is to say about that. 2 Shadow Vampire. My least favourite probably because he's you normal summon him, you get to search out any vampire deck, a special summon it, but only that one can attack for the rest of the turn, except for a copy of himself. He's really useless because he can't do much else.
Yeah, he's basically just for XYZs really. But
that's all there is with
you
him.
can only use it for dark XYZ, so like Andreas or Bram, and that's about it really.
Yeah, whatever works. 2 Sorcerer because I only have 2. I'd like to get a third one at some point. If he's sent to the graveyard from your opponent's possession card, so either by battle or effect, you get to search out any vampire card you want, and then if he's in your graveyard, you can banish him to tribute summon a vampire without tribute.
Basically the search of the deck, because you can't run dualities because it's special summons.
Too many of them, yeah. And that's it for the doubles, and then we have single ones for this point. We have the 1 Vamp. She's a snatch deal for the deck, but she can't really do much else because her effect can only be used if she's a normal summon with a higher monster attack that your opponent controls. Yeah. So just having it at once is fine.
It's like hard removal, level 7 hard removal. So.
Yeah, that's all there is. The 1 Lord, he's mainly more a Vampire Kingdom target, but if you get him on the field at the right time, then you can use him for correct plays. 1 Grace, you get her into a graveyard as quickly as possible. She's in your graveyard and you special summon level 5 or higher zombie. You can pay 2k and special summon her straight off the bat, and then once a turn you can declare a card type, and then your opponent has to send that card from their deck to the graveyard. So again, she's a 9 card, but just having her at 1 is better than any more than that because she can't do much else. I mean, if you combine it with stuff like Pilgrim Reaper, then it's a pretty nifty thing to use, but I don't run it in this deck. So coming away from the vampires, we have the 2 Unizombie, just a useful tech card of the deck. You put your zombies in the graveyard to increase stuff levels, and it's a tuner, so it's used for synchros and XYZs.
It's not like a mini engine, really. It's like you can Foolish Barrier stuff, you can use it for XYZs, use it for synchros. It's just really versatile in general.
Yeah. 3 Mizuki, because any zombie deck runs 3 Mizuki. Yeah. And then probably one which I'm going to easily replace that is 3 Pyramid Turtle. He's just too slow in this format because most cards just remove stuff in the field straight away. Yeah,
like getting its effect off is a lot harder nowadays than it used to.
Yeah, especially since we have too many stuff like Ignister and Dark Holes and Raigekis and everything. But
using a Raigeki on 1 monster is no longer a bad play.
Yeah, so
that's how the meta is right now.
Yeah, and so that's it for the monsters. For the spells, we're on 3 Kingdom. This is kind of the key card of the deck. All your zombies getting 500 attack and damage count, which works out really nicely because it gets over stuff like Armades and such, and other things like that. So you have that, and then the main effect of this is that if your opponent sends a card from their deck to the graveyard, then it triggers and you get to pop a card on their side of the field when you send a vampire from your deck to the graveyard. There's used to be actually thinking about it against stuff like Lightspawns because basically they use their Raidens to build their deck and then they just get this off and pop the Raiden.
And a lot of stuff is milling right now, but even if you don't have that mill on their side, you've got Vampire Lord, you've got stuff like
Duke and Grace and everything. Yeah, so we have tons of way to get this stuff into the graveyard. And then we run the 2 MST and the 1 Twin Twister. I like to run more Twin Twisters than this if possible. I did actually pull another one recently, but this is just back row removal because I hate back row.
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah, but I do have other ways to get around it. 2 Book of Life. I might still keep this, I might not. It's a monster reborn for you, DD Crow for your opponent, so it's definitely not a bad thing to run.
It's just like with Pendulums around at the moment, it's becoming a little outdated. Yeah, it is a really good card.
Because most of the stuff doesn't even go to the graveyard anymore. Yeah. And then I run 1 off for the rest of the spells. We have the Foolish. Get your Sorcerers, Mizukis, whatever in the grave. Very often a different dimension, get your Mizukis back. Dark Hole, just for field removal because I don't have Raigeki yet. Allure, that's a 2 now, so I might run one of those. Poly, I'll explain that in a sec. And Instant Fusion, because I have the 1 target for it. Then that's it for the spells.
We'll explain those last 2 in a second. Yeah. When we get to the extra deck.
You'll find out what they are. Then for traps, we run the 2 Takeover. This is a nice one, actually. If you have no field spell cards on your zone, and you have a zombie, then you get to activate Kingdom straight from your deck and special summon a vampire from your grave. So that's an easy combo that you do with activating the Kingdom, and then go straight to the Duke, and then the Duke effect kicks off.
Yeah, it's just a very solid trap. You can pretty much do it on an empty board as well.
Yeah, well, no, because you need...
Well, you need the one with zombie, but you just summon a zombie, set that, and you can automatically start things going.
Yeah. 3 Decree, because we don't run many traps in this deck. And I just find it useful because I mean you have stuff like Satellanize, which is still a fairly solid archetype as it is, and it kind of helps wreck Magnus Spectres and such.
Yeah, and even with like running back row as it were, having a decree just to shut down the late game, because this deck can it can be very powerful in the late game. And like, if worse comes to worst, you can use like the kingdom to pop your own decree, use a trap, and then activate another one.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And then the one off staples, the one bottomless, one solemn, and one compulse. And then that's it for the main deck. I don't have too much of a side deck at the moment, but I do run sort of other sort of like mini cards in this. So I have the Lancia. It's probably not going to be used in this in this thing anymore because it doesn't really
It's mainly just against me because JB likes to banish stuff.
And it doesn't work with Cosmos because the banishing is actually a cost, and so this cost doesn't really work too well with it unless you're able to find a way to get rid of their high level one straight away. 3 Chalice because I don't have Strike yet and it's too expensive. Just a spare MST because I might need it for other things. I'm toying between Spell Shattering Arrow and Fairy's Wind to see which ones would actually be better. I'm more to go for Fairy's Wind. That's Fairy's Wind.
Spell Shattering,
because of Pendulum and everything. But if I go against Monarchs, then I might consider this just get rid of like their
first Monarch.
That was
I forgot what it's called. The continuous trap one.
Yeah, and one mistake. I might try and run more of those because it's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. This won't be the 5th time.
Yeah, one mistake, just because we don't have many searches in this, because we don't get Sorcerer's Effect off that much.
Yeah.
That's it for the side deck. And now we get the extra deck, so the Interfusion target is just the one Norden.
Yeah.
It's at 1 now.
Best Interfusion target, really.
Yeah, because most decks can run around Norden anyway. And then the one Poly target is the Draco Necro. Useful for most zombie decks. You bring him out, and then if this battles your opponent's monster, it's not destroyed of a battle, but its attack becomes 0, then you get a Dark Soul token with its original level and attack.
Yeah.
So it's bad against XYZs, but against everything else it's fine. So it's a nice
Plus,
card.
it's actually really good for pushing some damage through.
Yeah, and 3k beat stick is definitely not too bad either. Then we run 4 Synchros, we run the Black Rose because Exciton's banned, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Ancient Fairy Dragon because we can use both effects if we really need to.
Yeah.
The first effect is just one I focus on more, just being able to pop the field spell and then gain 1,000. And using this against just the right time against Domain, then it just helps out.
True.
If you can negate that effect. Then you have Stardust because it's
the classic.
Yeah, because it's just a great card in general. And then Hot Red. I strongly suggest you replace this with Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend because that card's like 1,000,000 times better.
Yeah.
But this one's still okay if you use it at the right time.
Hot Red's not bad. Hot Red is not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the original one.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the XYZs, 2 Castell because I don't have a 1/1 yet, so I'll place one of these with one of them. Yeah. But it's still a stable card in this format as it is. Abyss Dweller just uses against the right deck at the right time, like use it against Phantom Knights and such, and they basically just lock them out.
Just shuts things down if you're winning.
Dark Rebellion for putting damage. Cowboy for game, which I always like to do that. Heartland Draco because you can use its second effect to protect itself. Key Beetle to protect your own things.
Yeah. All pretty solid.
Yeah. I did actually pull Dagger Mode, like I said, so I might consider maybe replacing one of these cards with it. But I always struggle with trying to figure out what would be best for the extra deck.
Got to try things out, really.
And then we have just 2 Dark XYZs to go with. We have the Shark Fortress. Yeah. Again, it pushes for damage, you detach material, and one card can attack twice, and this becomes the main target for attacks. And then finally the one Vampire Bram. I did have 2 of these originally, but I replaced it just to 1 because it's not as useful. Because what it does is that you target a... you can just read it if you want.
Zoom in a bit. It's quite long, so...
Yeah, you have the effect once a turn of detaching material and then targeting a monster in your opponent's graveyard to special summon it, and it can attack for the rest of the turn. But if you use it in the main phase 2, then it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
And then if it's destroyed by a card effect sent to the graveyard or by battle, then you get to special summon it back in the next standby phase.
It's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. It's
I've yet to find a Gaia Dragon because it is actually more pricey than it needs to be. So I would like to try and put that into this somehow, just because obviously if I get this back and it just has 0 defense, it's not really useful. But then bringing Gaia Dragon over this is just useful for pushing extra damage. And so that's it for my Vampire deck profile. So that's my first real one, which I'm pleased to actually do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time for whatever we do next.
Alrighty.
Take care.